that button, feel the love, it's a treat. Like, come on now, subscribe. Join the party, baby, ride the vibe. One click of love, keep the spirit alive. Hit that button and let's all thrive.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Part two. Ladies and gentlemen, Homewood in the building, Road Boy for life, 15208-412 forever. Holla at your boy. Now, previous video, we were talking about Rodney Hinton Jr. I guess it's either him or the dad. Junior is the son and the dad is the senior. I don't know whichever way it go, but the dad is accused of running over a deputy that was involved in his son's unaliving. And this, it in somebody's mind frame, this is considered eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You take mine, I take yours. Basically, that's what this is, right? That's what we're looking at right here. But you know, there's always more to the story than what's actually on the surface, than what they put on the surface. There's always more to it. Let's get into it.
Of killing a sheriff's deputy a day after his son was shot by a police officer, asked to be released on bail. I lay out the horrific chain of events out of Ohio and where the case could be heading.
Are you familiar with acts of someone that is not in their right mind when they commit a criminal act?
I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix.
Once again, y'all, this is a fair use video. Thank you, Law and Crime, for bringing this to everyone's attention. For me coming across it and bringing it to y'all, just like it came across to me. So, now, if you're not familiar with this, and I'm quite sure everybody has this. It's been on the minds and the lips of everybody for the last couple of days, for a while now. I am here to give my opinion, my commentary on my feedback on this, and how I look at it and how I view it. You know, somebody may not agree with me. Some people will. But in no way, shape, or form do I condone this or any type of harm being brought upon anybody. But in this case scenario, it's happening so much that the police unaliving people, especially melanated people of color. It's becoming a norm for them to do that. So, and it's getting to the point to where some families might be getting fed up. You know what I mean? Some families might be getting fed up with this, on how everything is going. Some families might be getting fed up. You know, people might be getting fed up because every time you turn around, there's a police involved incident to where these officers and whoever is involved are not being held accountable. They're not being held accountable for their actions at all. It's just, okay, well, it happened. Brush it off. Here, but what we're going to do with you, we're going to reassign you. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get you off my force and out of my community and put you here. But what we're going to do, we're going to bring another anal intended person up to take your place. It doesn't make sense because they're not being held accountable. They need to start being held accountable, or things like this might start happening more and more. If these law enforcement men and women are not being held accountable for what they do, stop lying all the time. Oh, I was in fear for my life. Oh, he pulled a weapon out on me. Come on now. And a majority of these cases that you see or that you hear about, that's the first thing that's said. Oh, I was in fear for my life. My life was threatened. Then come to find out, no weapon was ever found. You're the only one that had a weapon. You're the only one that discharged your weapon. You're the only one that unalived somebody. You're the only one that put somebody else's existence in fear. Nine times out of 10. But let's get into this.
Before I get into this case out of Ohio, I want to talk a little bit about true crime news and law and crime merch. The Law and Crime Docket is your one-stop shop for trending stories, thrilling body cams, and an exclusive look at brand new shows and podcasts from the faces you love. Sign up for our Docket newsletter by scanning the QR code.
So make sure y'all run and go sign up for their Docket newsletter. Go look at that. You know, you might see something interesting. You know, if you do come across something interesting, drop it on me. Drop it on me, and I can give my commentary. I can put my voice on it and discuss it. So let's get into it.
That you see here, or click on the link in our description and pinned in the comments under this video. At the beginning of June, we'll pick 10 new Docket subscribers and we'll send a Law and Crime hat to them. Winners will be announced in the newsletter.
Oh, they're going to send you a hat.
Out of Ohio, where Larry Henderson had retired as a Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy last December. He was still working, though, occasionally for that sheriff's office in Cincinnati doing special details. Last Friday, he was doing that, directing traffic for graduation at the University of Cincinnati when police say a man named Rodney Hinton Jr. deliberately drove his vehicle into Henderson at this intersection. Deputy Henderson was rushed to the local trauma center, but there was nothing that could be done to save him. Within hours, he passed away from these devastating injuries. You're probably asking yourself, why would anybody deliberately drive a vehicle?
I think that's on everybody's mind. Is why. I mean, I can understand why. I can understand why. I can understand the rage and the frustration as a father to seeing your child being unalive. We don't know what transpired. You know, from, like I said, from the still picture I showed in the last video, you didn't see no weapon in that young man's hand. Not one. He was running away from you. He wasn't running towards you. He was running away from you. Now, if he was running towards you, then you could say your life was threatened. Then you could say you felt threatened. Stand your ground, self-defense, whatever. Then you could say that. But if he's running away from you, you have no win in this fight. You have no air in your lungs to say anything. He was running away from you. What reason did you have to shoot him and unalive him? What reason did you have to pop off on him and unalive him? None whatsoever. Let's get back into it.
Into somebody, much less a sheriff's deputy who was directing traffic at a college graduation. Well, police say Rodney Hinton Jr. did this on purpose, possibly to avenge the death of his son Ryan Hinton. Ryan Hinton was 18 years old, and a day earlier, a Cincinnati police officer shot and killed him after encountering him and some others in a car that had been reported stolen out of Kentucky. Here's the police chief.
Officers across the country
So, you mean to tell me, I mean, I know Kentucky's not really, it's on the ass end of Cincinnati. You know, that's the beginning of Kentucky. You know, the ass end of Kentucky is on the ass end of Cincinnati. So, it's not really that far-fetched. But how does this boy end up being involved in the stolen car he's involved with a stolen car from Kentucky. He's involved with 3 other people in the car. He's involved with guns with extended clips, stolen firearms, and now he's labeled as dangerous in the eyes of law enforcement. He was labeled as dangerous because he quote unquote had a weapon. We don't know if he had a weapon. None of us know if he had a weapon or not. You know, that's the word of the policeman. That's what he's telling everybody. But as the story progresses, more and more things are going to come out. So let's get back into it.
Front dangerous situations every day, sometimes more than once a day. They are often compelled to make split-second decisions to protect others and themselves when faced with immediate threats. Yesterday was one of those occurrences. Let me be very direct. We cannot allow individuals to flee from officers with a loaded firearm aimed at them. When this happens, the outcome is almost always tragic. No one wins, and everyone involved is affected.
Police Chief Teresa Fiji outlined what occurred. It's something the Cincinnati Police Department does within 24 hours of an officer-involved shooting taking place.
Where the incident occurred is at the dead end of the parking lot back here. You'll see vehicles there now. You'll see a photo. The stolen car that we're going to talk about was backed into a parking spot back there. As you can see, this is a stolen Kia. It was stolen out of northern Kentucky yesterday. You can see we have 2 uniformed cars there. Prior to those uniformed cars arriving.
Now, here's where somebody with common sense that's going to be the voice for this family. There's a car right there, okay? There's a law enforcement car right there. There's one right there. So you mean to tell me out of these 2 cars, that boy was able to get up off the ground and start running without neither one of them apprehending him first? You already have officers right there. You already have officers right there. So another officer comes, gets out his car from back here. And if you watch the video, you'll see him start running. He starts running from back here. I don't know if he got out of this cruiser or not. But he runs past the stolen car right here. He runs past the stolen car right here. But this officer right here couldn't apprehend that young man who's on the other side of this car. The dumpsters are on the other side of this car. So you mean to tell me nobody could apprehend that young man running? And you're already right there? Come on now, make it make sense.
We had 2 undercover cars that pulled into that dead end, saw the vehicle. They backed out. They saw that there were individuals inside the vehicle, so they backed out and let the uniform cars make the approach, which is the tactically sound decision.
First of all, if you undercover, you're still law enforcement. You're still law enforcement. Why would you back out and let the uniform police come in when you're already law enforcement? That don't make sense to me. That don't make sense to me. And for everybody, I'm getting ready to say this, and for everybody that knows, knows. If you don't, you don't. Oh well. Figure it out on your own. That's like task force rolling up on you, leaving you alone, and letting the regular police come and handle you. But you're still law enforcement. Even though you're law enforcement, oh, I'm going to just back up and let the uniform police come in and handle it. But I'm an undercover cop. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It don't make sense. That statement she just said does not make sense at all. On any level at all. None.
To do. The cars are positioned the way the officers are trained. We are trained to use our vehicles as cover from any threat.
Now y'all see how he got his hand right there? You can't see nothing. That is blatantly blocking. That is blatantly blocking your body cam footage from anything behind your hand. You're blatantly blocking anything that's going on right there. Because see, here's the cruiser right here. So apparently anything back here, this is where the action is taking place back here. So why do you have your hand up right there?
That's what those officers did with the cars at that time.
Chief Thigi then played a short portion of the body camera footage.
This is body-worn camera from officer number 2. Go ahead, Bobby.
Y'all see that? Look, look, look. Y'all see where he ran from? That's the cop. Okay, he's running, so that's his hand up in front of it. Look. Look where he starts from. He starts from the other cruiser. There's already a cruiser parked in front of that car. That stolen car. There's already one right there. Look.
This is body-worn camera from officer number 2. Go ahead, Bobby.
See it?
From officer number 2.
See if I can stop it right on time. Right there. Look. There's already a cruiser right there. So why should you feel as though you need to get out and chase when this cruiser right here are the undercovers that were there before y'all? Let me reiterate that one more time. The undercovers that were there before y'all, why couldn't they do the same thing y'all just did and run after them? See, he said he got a gun. He got a gun on the ground. This is not look, man. This is not making sense.
This is the body camera footage from the officer who actually...
Okay, so he said he got a gun on your right. On your right, he's telling him on the right-hand side. How do you know this man has a gun? How do you know this man has a gun? I'm telling y'all, that's just like the Jalen Walker thing. They say this. They say he had a gun. They say he had a gun. But when he got out the car, he didn't have no weapon on him. And they unloaded. They just gave him all the smoke. They unloaded a whole truckload of cigarettes on him. And you know, when they did show the footage of the bubble gun, when they did show the footage of it, it was just so perfectly neat in the back seat. You know, the cowboy extension was here. The clip was here. It was firearm clip, One little heat seeker. And this is the Jalen Walker case. This has nothing to do with this, but I'm just using this as a metaphor. You know, they said he had a gun when he got out. They said he had a weapon when he got out the car. He got out the passenger side. When he was in a whole open field, he got out the passenger side. But this right here, this now either I'm looking at it wrong, or somebody can come on and drop the comment down there and let me know if I'm looking at it wrong, or you know what I mean. But from my perspective, and I got 4 eyes, and I'm looking right at the screen. I'm looking right. I'm looking at the same thing y'all looking at. The young man was running away. He had his back to you. He had his back to you.
Actually shot Ryan Hinton.
This is the other officer, the one who fires the shot. This is his body camera as he approaches the scene.
Look, from the door.
This is the firearm that was recovered at the scene after the individual was shot. This is what he had in his hand while the officers were chasing him.
Hold on.
After the individual was shot.
Y'all see the color of that gun right there? It's from this point on. It doesn't make sense. Y'all see the color of this firearm right here? That look white, don't it? Like it's broad daylight. Why in the fuck do you got a flash on? That doesn't look like the same gun. That's an extended clip. Where are they getting these guns with these extended clips?
Shot. This is what he had in his hand while the officers were chasing him.
That looked like a totally different gun, don't it? That looks like a totally different gun. I don't care. This looked at white in the picture. Okay. It was the clip was already in it. This firearm looked at white laying on the ground. I don't care. There's no flash in the world that's going to come off and make a whole gun look a whole different color. Period. I don't care. I can take a picture of a toy gun. You know, I have a pellet gun. I can take a picture of my pellet gun with the flash on, and it will not make it look like a different color.
It's just a photo of it here at Criminalistics. Remember I told you he fell on the concrete and the officer said that they heard the metal hit the ground? There are 3 spots on here where this gun has scratches on it. We believe those occurred when he hit the ground with the firearm. This is a second. Sorry, Bobby, can you go back 1 frame, please? This magazine was in the firearm. That's an extended magazine, so it holds more rounds. Go ahead. This is a second magazine that was located in his sweatshirt pocket, his jacket pocket.
So, hey, somebody make this make sense. Please make this make sense, y'all. If y'all do not recognize or see what is going on, if y'all do not recognize this, if this was in his pocket, if y'all found this in his pocket, how are y'all taking pictures of it on the ground? If this magazine was found in his sweatshirt pocket, why are y'all taking pictures of this on the ground? Why is it on the ground? So this is what the police does. They just throw evidence on the ground and just take pictures of it. Normally, if they find something on you, they place it on the hood of their car. See, things like this go unnoticed, but the more and more people speak up about stuff like this, the more and more it's going to become recognized on a normal basis, and you can really see what's going on. If this was found in his sweatshirt pocket. Now, if I have something in my pocket and you find something in my pocket, you're not going to throw it on the ground and take pictures of it and claim it's evidence. No. That's like, okay, if they pull you over, they search you, they find drugs on you, you think they're going to throw them drugs on the ground and take pictures of it? No, they're going to place it on the hood of their car. They're going to place it on the hood of their car, and if they find a firearm on you, they'll literally take that firearm, empty the clip out, they'll pull the clip out, empty that one in the chamber, pick that one up that popped out the chamber and set it on the hood of their car, and they'll take pictures of it. They will not take pictures of it on the ground unless they found it on the ground and didn't find it on him. Make it make sense.
And that is the magazine from that second magazine. This is another firearm that was located inside the stolen vehicle. This is a firearm that was also stolen out of northern Kentucky sometime early yesterday morning. This is another.
Now y'all see she just tripped over her own words. Listen.
That was located in his sweatshirt pocket, his jacket pocket.
Right here. She didn't say where this magazine and this ammunition came from. She just said this is a second, you know what I mean? Now, we're going to go back, y'all. We're going to go back. We're going to go back a little bit. We're going to go back a little bit. Right there. Y'all see that? Y'all see that magazine? See these dots right here? Y'all see them dots on that magazine? That's the one they claimed that was in his pocket, right? Now read up here. I want y'all to focus up here on this. Y'all focused up here on the words up here? Read this. Y'all see that? It says magazine recovered at the scene from suspect's pocket loaded with ammunition. Okay? This was a firearm that came from the same vehicle. Okay?
Magazine that was located in his sweatshirt pocket, his jacket pocket.
Right here. Read this. It says magazine recovered from suspect's pocket. Does that look like the same magazine? Does this look like the same magazine that they found on the ground? This looks old and beat up. Look at it. That looks old and beat up. Does that look like the same magazine? Somebody make it make sense. How does a magazine change from the ground to the picture? Make it make sense. I'm not saying they covering it up. They covering something up. But I'm just saying, make it make sense.
And that is the magazine from that second magazine.
See how she stumbled? See how she stumbled over her words right there?
This is another firearm that was located inside the stolen vehicle. This is a firearm that was also stolen out of northern Kentucky sometime early yesterday morning. Approximately, we believe, based on time.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, that looks like an officer issued firearm, don't it? Officers carry Glocks, right? That looks like a Glock. I mean, not saying, you know, basically all guns, you know, that people carry are automated. Handguns, like some, you know, some people be having AR-15s and automatic rifles and crowd pleasers and crowd dispersers. I don't know how they be getting it, but how did they steal a gun from out of Kentucky and where? That this gun was not reported. Who does not know their gun is missing? Say what you want, do what you do. Who does not report their firearm missing. Serial number and all right there. And I guarantee if they trace this, they're going to come back and say, it was stolen. It was stolen from a firearm dealer, you know, a gun shop, which is bullshit, which is straight bullshit, unless you only got one person working in the damn gun shop. Because the gun shop out here, when you walk in there, they got their buddy on them. Their buddy is hanging with them. Y'all hear me? When you walk in there, their buddy is hanging with them. So you're not taking nothing. And they're going to automatically lock the door. So where they get the stolen gun? Where they get the stolen guns from?
Timelines. This was stolen from a vehicle in northern Kentucky, and then they went on.
So you mean to tell me these boys was just going around stealing stuff out of vehicles? A firearm. Who leaves their firearm in their vehicle? Who does that sound like? Who leaves firearms in their vehicle? Not nobody I know.
On to steal the vehicle that's involved in the incident.
I want to tell you about a free app that I've tried. It's called Upside. It gives you cash back on things that you use each day, like gas, groceries, and takeout.
Make sure y'all go check out
cash
Upside real quick.
Straight into your bank account.
She's telling y'all go check out Upside.
Dunkin' for a cup of tea. I use Upside. I've even used it when I order pizza.
Y'all go to Dunkin' Donuts. Y'all some donuts.
Whatever you're buying and pay.
Damn, donuts sound good right now. I can go for a glazed donut with a nice big tall glass of milk.
You could earn. Click the link in the description to download Upside, or scan the QR code on your screen and use our promo code PrimeFix to get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's promo code PrimeFix for an extra 25 cents
That's
back
promo
on
code
your first tank
PrimeFix.
of gas. Now, all of this information about 18-year-old Ryan Hinton was revealed in a press conference after the police chief and others met with Ryan Hinton's family, including his father, Rodney.
So look at this boy. This boy looked like he weighed about $120. This boy looked like he weighs about $120, even with equipment on. Shoulder pads, thigh pads, knee pads, cleats, and everything. He looked like he weighs about $120. So you mean to tell me this officer could not chase this boy down? You couldn't chase him down? He didn't pose a threat to you because he didn't point his firearm at you. That's obvious in the still picture from the last video I showed, or just now.
Rodney Hinton Jr.
On Friday morning, we met with the police chief of Cincinnati, and we viewed the body cam video of what happened with the police-involved shooting with Ryan. We stayed at the chief's office for about an hour and a half, and what we saw was disturbing. The family was upset, as you can imagine, watching your son, watching your grandson, watching your loved one getting shot and killed by the police was upsetting to this family. We left out of the police chief's office, and a few hours later, I was made aware that Rodney had an incident with a police officer that resulted in the officer's death. But again, we are here because we represent the estate, and
If these two right here, they represent the family. I don't know, this might be the granddad, or but here's another person over here. They represent the family. So if I see, just by doing this right now, if I see what I see and I brought it to y'all attention, they seen it too. They seen it too. And so did the police chief.
The police involved shooting.
Rodney Hinton left the meeting with the police chief and
So this is the young man's dad right here. I guess that scar came from when he ran into the deputy. They're going to talk about that.
sometime after that is when police say he intentionally drove his vehicle into Deputy Larry Henderson. A probable cause affidavit states a Hamilton County Sheriff's Office deputy was standing on the sidewalk at the corner of the intersection outside of the lanes of travel where he was engaged in traffic control. The deputy was wearing a uniform and a fluorescent traffic vest. Based on witness statements and evidence at the scene, the defendant drove across oncoming lanes of traffic through the intersection and directly at the deputy, who was struck by the vehicle, causing injuries to the deputy. That intersection near the University of Cincinnati's campus has flowers and blue ribbons decorated in memory and in honor of Larry Henderson, a man who was simply working a detail directing traffic.
Why they always, y'all notice in every city there's one of these? You notice in every city there's a Martin Luther King freeway, drive, street, you know. And back home in PA, we have the Martin Luther King busway. In every city there's one of these.
For the University of Cincinnati's graduation. He worked at a different agency, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, than the police officer who shot Ryan Hinton. Larry Henderson had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to Ryan Hinton. On Monday, Ryan Hinton's family stood with their lawyers, distancing themselves from what Ryan's father is accused of doing, intentionally murdering Deputy Henderson.
We're here because we represent the estate of Ryan. We're not here to talk about the incident that occurred with the police officer. We do offer our condolences to the officer and his family. We were hired to represent this family to investigate the police-involved shooting of their son, Ryan. This family is very upset about what occurred. We believe that this incident should be investigated. It's not as cut and dry as this officer should have just pulled out his gun and shot at Ryan. It's not that cut and dry.
It sure ain't, buddy. It sure ain't. It sure ain't. But that's what they want everybody to believe. Oh, it's cut and dry. That's it. That's it. It is what I say it is. This is what happened. This is my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's what they always say all the time. They say that all the time. They say that through all the training that they have, going through the so-called academy, going through all of that training to de-escalate situations. When it comes down to it, you would, when the situation is right in front of you, what do? You forget about your training. You forget about how to de-escalate a situation. You forget about how to ask questions first, give them commands first before you give them the smoke and unalive them. You forgot all about that. I'm just going to unalive him right now. I'm just going to unalive him right now. And what I say I did this for, that's what I did. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Basically, that's what they say all the time. They don't say it just like that, but they say it. They say it. You know, people just don't listen to it. They say it, though. They say it. Let's get back into this.
So that's why we're doing the records request. We're going to analyze frame by frame each one of these videos to determine why the officer made that deadly decision to shoot and kill Ryan.
Ryan Hinton's grandfather, the father of Rodney Hinton, also spoke.
I want to give a condolence out to the officers that they got hurt, got killed, my whole family. I'm asking for forgiveness, and I've been praying hard for the officer that killed my grandson. I've been praying hard for him and his family. I know he's hurting off this.
First of all, hold on, y'all. And I understand you have. This goes to one of my things. I understand you have a, I understand we have hearts. We have big hearts. We have big hearts. We carry that. We carry it on our sleeves. We have big hearts. But I'm and this is just me. This is how I feel. You know, I'm not going to give no condolences to anything until I'm satisfied with what is going on at the present time, at the present moment. I'm not giving no condolences to nothing. If my child is unalive, I'm not going to, especially by law enforcement, and I see evidence that clearly states how my child was not a threat. I'm not going to give you condolences. I'm not going to feel sorry for you. I'm not going to do none of that. None of that. I'll feel better when all the evidence comes out and everything is out in the open and truth starts to be told. Then I would feel better. That's just me. That's just me. You know, I can't even say 100% sure that's how I feel, but I'm not going to give no condolences. I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be pissed beyond pistivity. The universe will feel my pain. But I'm not going to give condolences to someone who wasn't the perpetrator of this man's grandson's unaliving, but you was involved in it. You were involved in it. And there's no mention of the one that actually did it. Y'all notice that? There's no mention of the officer that actually unalived that boy. There's no mention of him. There's no mention of him at all.
And I seen in the video about my grandson, I seen two scared people. I seen the officer scared, and I seen my grandson scared. So it's an unfortunate incident that happened. So that's all I seen. It was like, I didn't see the police there trying to kill. No. What I seen was two persons made a mistake. My grandson made a mistake being in, and the officer, he was trying to get back to his family too. So that's what I seen. So it's not about revenge or anything. I have nothing against nobody. You know, my Lord and Judge, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I represent Him. So, with that said, please, everybody, just try to forgive everybody who done anything.
First of all, dude, you got to go. You got to go. You got a bottle in your pocket. It's not water. I can guarantee you that right now. It's not water. I don't know why they put certain people up there to talk. I'm not a good speaker. I couldn't stand up there. I'm not a good speaker. I couldn't stand up there and talk. You know, I probably could. I probably can't. But I'm not a upfront speaker. I've never have been. You know, I never liked doing that. But you got this right here. It's not water. It's too small. Plus, your damn zipper's down, dude. And plus, you're sitting up there talking. You looking like you want to crack a smile. You know, it's unfortunate that this young man lost his life. Now, that I will give condolences to the family about that young man. But the police officer, you was involved in something. You was involved in an untruth. You was involved in an untruth that happened due to another fellow officer of yours.
Rodney Hinton Jr. appeared in court over the weekend following his arrest on an aggravated murder charge. A wall of Larry Henderson's colleagues surrounded him. Hinton muttered something about being gone forever.
Look at this. This is intimidation. This is intimidation. They trying to intimidate this man. They trying to intimidate this man. Look at him right there. Look at him right there. He want to do something so bad, but they can't. You got a whole. This is totally uncalled for. That's totally uncalled for. You do not need all them police officers right there. Look. Look.
Hinton was moved to a jail in a neighboring county. He was back in court asking for bail, and things got heated in the gallery when his brother attempted to contact him by knocking on the courtroom glass.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat, sir. Sit down.
Look at the police presence. Look at the police presence. Like, what do y'all need all these police officers there for when this man is just coming into court to ask for bail? It's intimidation. They trying to intimidate this man because what they're basically telling him subliminally is, you better look over your shoulder for the rest of your life. This is exactly what they're telling him without telling him. Anybody can see that. Why do y'all need this police presence right there? All up in here. Why do y'all need this all up in here? All up in here. Why? Look, all of them back there, all that behind the glass right there is nothing but police officers. Nothing but police officers. You know, I understand this man killed, you know, he unalived a person of law enforcement. I understand that. I understand that. You know. But to have that police presence right there in the courtroom, that is making a statement. And people, y'all better recognize this is the biggest gang ever. This is the biggest gang ever, and they all protected. They're not held accountable for anything. They can run you down. They can run you down and twist you till you inside out up under the car. They can run you down. And you know what happened to them? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing will happen to them. You know what will happen to them? They'll get reassigned somewhere else. They'll get reassigned somewhere else. Look, he got a vest on. Like, what? They try to make it seem like they are protecting people. But what they're doing is intimidation. This is nothing but intimidation, y'all. This is nothing but to show everybody that we got more power to do whatever we want, whenever we want, and however we want. And there's nothing y'all can say or do about it. Nothing. I'm going to just get reassigned somewhere else. 2 days, I guarantee the next day, if this man right here with the big hole in his natural, he got his whole sunroof open. If he decides he wants to go ahead and unalive somebody, he can. There's nothing, there's going to be no consequences set upon him. He's not going to be held accountable for shit.
Rodney Hinton was rushed out of the courtroom as his brother was escorted out of the gallery.
Look, there's undercovers right there. Now you want to act like the law enforcement, right? Pointing your hand and gesturing for him to go that way. Look at him right there. Captain Schultz right here. He's ready. He's ready. I don't know who this is. He got her hemmed up. He's pushing her right out the way.
Shortly thereafter, court resumed, with Hinton's lawyer asking for bail for him and entering a not guilty plea on his behalf.
Judge, I'm going to waive probable cause as a result of being acquainted with the case. I'm waiving probable cause.
Thank you so much. And is there a plea this morning?
And why is she standing there taking pictures? She want to say it so bad. She want to say the word so bad, y'all. Look at her face. She want to say it so bad. So bad. She want to say it so bad. He's not intimidated. He's showing no fear at all. And that's good.
There's a plea of not guilty, Governor.
Plea of not guilty. Will you enter a plea of not guilty? And thank you. And as to bond, the state has requested a hearing on the issue of bond or bail. You may be aware of that.
I am aware of that.
Who would like to proceed?
I would proceed, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, a detective testified about what happened that day.
Tell me what he did after he stopped.
So based on witness statements as well as the video, the vehicle accelerated quickly, proceeded eastbound, crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic when there was no longer traffic.
This man was probably so mad about his son. I guarantee he was upset. You ever see the movies where they just get upset, just black out? And just eye for an eye. Eye for an eye. In his mind, that's what he was going for. Eye for an eye. You took mine, I'm going to take one of y'all's. And that's exactly what he did. That's exactly what he did. You may see more cases like this pop up. You may see more cases like this pop up, especially due to the circumstances that's surrounding the whole case from both sides. Like the man stated earlier, he's not there for the father. He's there for the family of the young man. But the father is the family of the young man. So you may not have got to go ahead to represent this man, but if you stated that you're there for the family of this young man, that involves the dad too. That involves the dad too.
Traffic to obstruct his travel. Crossed into the oncoming lanes of traffic. Went to the left.
Why'd you say
of those little stanchions that are.
Why'd you say it again?
Roadway, into the oncoming lanes, through the intersection, directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing. Struck Deputy Henderson and the metal utility pole on the northeast corner of the intersection.
Okay. Were there any evidence of skid marks?
No, there were no indications at any point that he tried to brake, stop, or otherwise avoid Deputy Henderson.
And is that the conclusion that our accident reconstructionists have come to at this point?
At this time, yes.
Okay. And does it appear from your...
In some circles, this father is going to be hailed as a hero. In some circles, his father is going to be hailed as a hero. He is going to be the first one to make that statement, an eye for an eye, true.
Review of the video that he headed straight for Deputy Henderson.
Yes.
And did any of the multiple witnesses that you spoke to and the people that were in the vehicles that were surrounding him, the people that were on scene, did anyone indicate that any attempt to slow down or deviate his path straight to Deputy Henderson?
No. Everybody said that he accelerated and was traveling at a high rate of speed all the way up until the time that he struck Deputy Henderson.
Okay. And when he struck Deputy Henderson, was the deputy injured?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened after he struck Deputy Henderson?
Deputy Henderson was launched several feet through the air. He came to rest in a turn lane several feet from where the collision occurred.
Rodney Hinton's defense attorney then questioned the detective.
Just first of all, I would like to offer on behalf of the Hinton family and myself, prayers to the Hinton family, prayers to the family of Larry Henderson, the fallen deputy, and I thank the court for having a fair assembly in the courtroom today. With that, I'd like to ask you a few questions, not a lot. Okay?
So,
you said that Mr. Hinton left the police station around 12:30. CIS.
he initially left around 10:30
Came back and then left again.
and then returned a couple hours later. Yes.
And you said that individuals that know Mr. Hinton, his family members, were saying that he appeared to be agitated, upset, and so forth, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't know the source of that agitation or that distraughtness, do you? If you know, you might not. I don't think you do, but you have to answer the question.
The source of the agitation?
Yes.
Well, I would assume it was because of I believe it was because of the video and the reason that he was at CIS.
Do you know the mental history of Mr. Hinton?
No, I do not know detailed mental history.
Right. Do you know whether or not he's had any medically documented infirmities or conditions? Do you know that? You don't, do you?
No, I do not.
After bond was denied, the sheriff gave a brief statement.
He was a 33-year career deputy for our department.
Now here's why I said that they don't hold these officers to no accountability. They can unalive somebody right now. Won't see not one cell. Won't have not one bond hearing. Now, if this man was of the other persuasion, he would have had bond. They would have gave him bond right there. They'd have gave him bond right there. It's not the fact that he hit the deputy that they're not giving him bond. The system is not set up for him. The system is not set up for him. Anybody and everybody knows that the system's not set up for him at all.
He retired approximately 5 months ago, and he continued to serve under oath, and he was directing traffic that day at what would have been a very, very joyous occasion for the University of Cincinnati graduates. Unfortunately, you know what unfolded, and we have lost Larry. Larry has been a deputy who is...
So she knows him because this is something personal for her. There's something personal because she just addressed him by his first name. Everybody else addressed him as deputy. She addressed him by his first name. So she has a personal stake in this, and she's gonna make it known that was a friend of hers, and she's upset about it. She's gonna do whatever and anything in her power to make sure that man gets blackballed from being able to be outside.
Been so extraordinary. We've retired his badge number. Badge number 129 will be retired. Larry touched so many lives in this organization because he was a trainer, because he worked in so many specialized units. And Larry was very animate about the fact that he stay on the front line. He did not wish to take exams to be promoted because Larry's service was on that front line. And I have to tell you, that is bravery extraordinaire. When deputies decide that they want to be out there facing every day to day, that's a sacrifice, and it's a sacrifice for his family, and they have made the ultimate sacrifice.
I want to bring in Ken Kober. He is the president of the Fraternal Order of Police in Cincinnati, Ohio. So, Ken, this is a shocking turn of events. We have a young man who was in an officer-involved shooting. He was killed by a Cincinnati police officer on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do this right here. We're going to stop that right here. We're going to come right back to it. So make sure y'all still hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get it.